Hey, I'm Abbey, and these are my mid-20s. Welcome to me trying to navigate life. Recently, I've been trying to change my life. There was a time when I could never in my wildest dreams be able to go to a cafe alone, order alone, and sit there all alone divulging a delicious, fresh pain au chocolat. Oh, and filming myself do it for people on the internet to watch. You see, it's this battle I have with my little accomplice, social anxiety. She makes me scared to do things by myself. Anxiety comes in many shapes and forms, as you may know, and for me, it kind of gives me this irrational fear of other humans. But I am slowly trying to overcome it, and when I do on days like today, I just feel so great about it. Nobody looked at me, cared that I was alone, or bat an eyelid at the fact that I was filming myself. Quite rightly and frankly, nobody cared about me. And you know that fear that anxiety manifests within us is usually only in our mind. There was just me enjoying my delicious pastry for breakfast. And it honestly wasn't that big of a deal. I survived, it felt great, and now I'm left to feel on such a high for the rest of the day. Okay, so this video isn't about me claiming to have a magic cure for my anxiety or your anxiety. It is really something that I'm constantly working on and trying to just keep as minimal as possible. But trust me when I say changing my relationship with food and actually educating myself about nutrition has been the very most important step in the right direction, and that's really what we're talking about here. My anxiety is not as strong as it was before, and panic attacks have become a lot less frequent, which allows me to actually relax and enjoy life more. It's like I eat and the food goes into my stomach, but it also works its magic to clear this anxiety fog that I've got going on in my brain. If I could just simplify it down to steps to change your relationship with food, it's like step 1, cut all ultra-processed foods from your diet right now and never consume them again. And step 2, learn how to cook from scratch that actually tastes good. The second step has been a lot harder for me because I was definitely not born naturally gifted in the cooking department. It's all about trial and error. But eventually, I did get better. I watched a lot of what I eat in a week videos on YouTube, started following different cooking blogs, and built up a sort of trust in myself and my cooking abilities. The first step may seem kind of extreme, restrictive, and hard to navigate in a world where our supermarket aisles are filled with processed food, and fast food is literally everywhere. It's kind of not that hard though. You just have to eat real foods that aren't made chemically. If it's made by hand, that's usually a very good start, and if it's high in fat or sugar, at least you can pronounce every single ingredient that goes into it.
I'm gone. So sorry you can stay too long. It was a fun night, and everybody feels alright. The party goes on, the party goes on all night long. I said, the party goes on, the party goes
I read this book, Salt, Sugar, Fat: How the Food Giants Hooked Us by Michael Moss. It's an investigation into the food industry's use of sugar, salt, and fat to make our products more appealing and addictive.
Okay.
It scared me a lot. He calls out food companies for prioritizing profit over consumers' health and purposely manipulating ingredients to trigger pleasure centers in our brain that lead us to crave and become addicted to these highly processed foods in the exact same way as Class A drugs. Sugar is addictive, and food scientists know that. It's in everything that you buy because it creates a bliss point. That point that Moss describes as where the perfect amount of sugar has been added to maximize appeal and keep us buying more and more of this so-called food. How dangerous for our health is the commodification of food, boiling it down to profit over people. I've seen horrifying figures like 75% of cancers are believed to derive from the foods we eat. We don't eat to nourish and fuel our bodies anymore. We eat purely for pleasure, and because of that, our bodies aren't getting the right nutrients to function at their best. We are sad, sick, and brain foggy, or at least that's how I was feeling. It's really scary because while multinational companies gain from our poor health, we are left to suffer the consequences. Okay, I'm gonna open up and reflect on my own journey with food, because there was a time when I was suffering so badly with anxiety to the point where I couldn't eat. I weighed 41 kilograms at my lowest point, and it wasn't a body image thing for me, it was just that I was never hungry, but I was always weak, tired, and feeling numb. My diet when I managed to eat consisted of highly processed foods. I'd eat biscuits for breakfast with coffee in the morning, and then at about 4 p.m, I'd heat up something in the oven and call it lunch and dinner. That was all I gave my body to function, and I felt so shit about myself and my life. I didn't have any energy, and honestly, I just felt sad all the time. I wasn't a good student because my brain didn't have the energy to study. I was short-tempered and unloving towards the people I loved the most. I cancelled plans because I was too tired, and at one point I just decided that I actually didn't want to live like that anymore. I wanted to feel alive and in love with my life, so I cut the crap, literally. I began eating mostly plant-based, which started in the beginning as a way to get more vegetables into my diet, but has become like second nature. I retrained my brain to crave real foods again. Killian has been right by my side throughout this whole thing, and as we sit here celebrating our 5th year anniversary, I'm kind of reflecting on all of the anniversaries before that. We have done some awesome things together in the name of celebrating our love. Like the time where we went dog sledding in the French Alps, or paragliding over Annecy Lake, or even visiting Disneyland in Paris. But honestly, the 5th one, where we are at this significantly overpriced French restaurant in Sydney, bitching about all the wait staff, it was honestly the best. We've found our couple's groove more than ever because I feel so good about myself and I'm able to show up to him as a fully functioning partner. And because of that, despite all the tough times that we've had in Sydney, we've been able to come out stronger than ever. So this dinner is really in celebration of us becoming our best selves as individuals and also as a couple together. It's kind of funny because there was a time where you could ask me my favorite food, hamburgers and fries. I would have been beyond happy to eat a hamburger in celebration of our anniversary. There was nothing I loved more than ordering a takeaway and sitting at home in front of my screen devouring a burger. Yeah, so times have seriously changed. Basically, this whole cutting processed foods from my diet and from my life, it was just all about me wanting to be the best, most capable Abbey Frances I could possibly be. I wanted to have energy. I wanted to feel good about life and love the people in my life as they deserve to be loved and valued. And I just... Ow. Straight in the eye. If maybe anxiety or just feeling like shit is something that you're struggling with, I truly think you should try cutting ultra-processed foods from your diet too. Even if it's just for a day, start with a day, turn it into a week, and it'll become a lifestyle. Your body really does stop craving these foods after a while, and you really will start feeling like the best you can possibly be.